Hi friends, and happy 4th of July. That's actually when I'm painting this. I'm not sure if it'll get posted tonight or tomorrow. Welcome. I'm an artist out of Ohio, Barbara Pask, and appreciate you joining me. I am going to ignore this pencil sketch that you can kind of see on that canvas. I think that's an umbrella and a couple people on beach chairs, but I've changed my mind. It's not what I want to do. This is a 8x8 deep canvas. These are nice because they set nicely on a shelf or a table, or you could frame it, I guess, but I won't be doing that. I've got a lot of things I could be working on, but I decided I'd do this for you, and I've got some shows coming up later this year, so that's probably what I'll use it for. Painting a cow. Isn't that fun? And I've cropped him square. So that's what we're doing. So we'll start out first, and we're going to tone the canvas. Don't have to, just think I will tonight. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This is a bright pink color. I may have mentioned to you before, but I've been painting a series of paintings around the town here where I live. Plein air, going out and recognizable places in my town. Some of them are rows of houses, some are buildings right on the main drag. There's a very popular ice cream shop up here in town, which I painted last week, and someone wants it, which is nice, so I'll be painting it again. But my intention is to get a collection together of paintings of my town and hopefully display them someplace together. I talked to a guy who owns a coffee shop up here. I'm hoping maybe this fall we could do that, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm doing them regardless. And I have toned most of them in this color. Maybe all of them. I like bits of it peeking through, and I think it might give the series some uniformity. I don't know, it's my thought. But I like it anyway. Tones, colors that you do use can really change the feel of a painting and really be fun. So if you're not a person that tones, think about doing it just to spice things up. All right, we're going to look at negative shape. A negative shape is the space between your object and the edge, or an object and another edge, or an object and an object. That can be negative space. But my negative space is the area around the cow and the canvas. So that's what I'm looking at. I've forgotten the name of it, but I took this off of a site where there are copyright-free images available. There are some of those sites if you look for them. I have a lot of cow photos of my own, but I don't have a lot of cows by themselves. They tend to group up together more so, I think, and of course I could crop in on some of those, just a face of one like this one is. I'm looking at this. I'm feeling like that's a little short. Had a nice day today. We went over to my niece's, and not everyone was there, but probably 20 of us. My one little niece came up to me. It's a set of twins, and she said, "You know what I want to be when I grow up?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "An artist." Isn't that cute? at one point I went downstairs with him, and she was like, show me some stuff. No, I wasn't sure what, what to show her exactly. I talked to her about, why don't you get a mirror and draw? She wants to draw, which is great. That's the way you learn. I said, why don't you get a mirror and draw your face sometime? I said, do that before I see you again. So we'll see. There's a landscape behind, and I don't want it cuts off kind of at an awkward place. We'll think about that. We may just do a multicolored background. He's a lot of a burnt sienna kind of color. I don't have that on my palette. I have transparent red oxide. So we're going to start with the darkest parts that we see first. Which is normally the way I start. I think I'm going to stay with this very big brush that I toned the palette with. Just to show you, it's pretty big. We're going to stay with that for a while. Keep me loose. Went out and painted yesterday up in my town. Chose a very challenging scene. I got a long way to go on it. A lot of things blocking my view, cars and electrical boxes, and we'll look for these darks in the body. Trying to stay back on the brush and across the brush so I don't, get too picky. This is just ultramarine and transparent red oxide. That's a pretty dark. But it's transparent, so if you put some pressure on it and push it around, it is more transparent. See there, I don't know if you can tell. I just think cows are fun. I think because the head is the most important part, we're going to work on it first. And it's a lot of white. This side is a little bit more shadowed. So I'll plop some white out here first. Because if you ask yourself what color is his head, you would say white. I'm going to cool off a bit of it for that shadowed side. we don't want to cover up all the pink. I mean, it's why we put it on there, right? And up in here, I'm going to make this mixture a little bit darker. The light's coming from this side. I did make it, as you see, a little bit darker there. And we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm going to put in some of this color around his eyes. Transparent red and a little yellow. Still a little dark. Let's put a little white in it. I'm looking at the direction the hair is growing. You get up here on the top and it's kind of every which way. Still staying with the big brush and still trying to stay back on it. Doesn't it make you want to paint cows? I'm easy. Whatever I see somebody paint, I want to paint it. And I don't want him to feel like he's, you know, divided right down the middle, so. I just heard a firework. Well, it is actually the 4th, isn't it? We went to town last night and watched a firework display. Very nice. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's over, but it's not really, is it? We live very near a big amusement park, and I hear their fireworks all summer, but I can't see them, unfortunately. Doesn't seem fair. I have to put up with the sound, and I can't see them. I'm going to go ahead, while I got working with the white, I'm going to go ahead and put that in too, where I see it on his body. A little darker on the edge there. I'm trying to get that. I made a salad today, bean and corn and tomato, and it's real good stuff anyway. I took that and made a big thing of cherry crisp cobbler, you know. Unfortunately, I brought a lot of that home, so people always watching their weight. Of course, we had a lot of desserts. It's very good. I took vanilla ice cream, and now I'll be forced to eat most of it. I see a little dab of white up there. May not want it, but I'm going to stick it in because I see it. All right, let's go back to blocking in his eye. And the nose is pink. But it's not a bright, juicy pink, so I'm going to kill the intensity of it, I think, with a little green. And I will have to get out a smaller paintbrush. Obviously, I can't. Well, I wouldn't have to. Some people wouldn't. But I was just thinking for the nostril and stuff. If your intention was to have a very loose finish painting, you'd want to stay with a big brush. I'm trying it with a big brush. We'll see how we like it. Alright, let's look at the body. We put the darkest darks in, and there's some areas that are kind of in between. I've got, probably, I talk about that a lot. If you're going to premix your colors, I would premix 3 values and start that way. So, again, this is lighter than this, but not the lightest area that I see. So let's see if this is, there's an area in here that's dark. Back on my brush again. I mixed up some orange and threw it in the transparent red oxide. Alright, I'm going to squint, and I don't want my lightest lights in yet, so this is really bright here and over in here. Mixing up more orange, and I'm putting some white in it. A little bit of transparent red oxide. Let's see what that looks like. Should be dark. Oils are such fun if you've never used them. And you can blend right here on your canvas. I mean, I've got something dark and this is lighter. You know, you lay it on top of the dark and you can blend them together and come up with something kind of in between if you desire to. placement isn't right on that eye. Let's look at the eyes here. I'm going to get back out this brush that I sketched with, a smaller one. We're going to zoom in on the eyes. Okay, trying to look, see where they are. His ears here, the eye in the photo is right about there. And they're, they're pretty far over to the edge. And cows have eyelashes. Like deer. Sometimes really pretty eyes. Alright, so I'm kind of looking to see how this eye is made. And they actually look like they are coming down like that. He's also got in his light area here, can't really see that, wait. A dark area underneath like that. Let's see if we feel like we got his eye pushed back enough. I'm sure that's an easy mistake to make, is to pull their eyes too far forward. And I'm mixing up something for a highlight, but I think I want it to be pretty subtle. Let's see, how's that look? It's hard to tell to get them both in. Let me work on the other one. To see his eyelashes. I'm looking back and forth and trying to make sure they go together. this a little bit while I got this brush out. Decide if I'm pulling them too far forward. I said they're, really kind of on the side. A lot of cows have the tag in their ear, which this one doesn't, but you could add it, of course. Measure his ears. I feel as though his ears are short. So if you're going to measure something, hold your paint arm straight out, and you can use your paintbrush to measure with. And I'm looking at the photo, so I'm measuring the length of his ear. Now I'll compare it to, find something on his face. Okay, so it's about like that. Yeah, it's a little, little small. Paint the background in, we can work on the edges a little bit more. closer look at the nose. See whiskers on him too. I don't think of a cow. Well, it's just hair, isn't it? I don't know. We'll see if we like that or not. I kind of don't. You know, and he's got a lot of stuff going on top of his head. You know, a lot of curls and stuff. A lot of cows have that, like it's kind of like, that's too much, but kind of dark right there in the middle of their head. Kind of where all the curls originate from. Look at that, it's a little hard. You know, and he's got a lot of ridges running down, you know. Just have to decide how much detail you want. a lot of animals, you know, their eyes are so important. You focus right in on their eyes, but I don't really want you focusing, I don't think necessarily on his. They're, you know, they're off to the side, and all right, let's do some of the background. And I think he's outside, and I think we're just going to do like a gray-green kind of color. So ultramarine and yellow, of course, makes green. We'll lighten it up with some white. And I probably don't want it all the same, you know, green. Put a little red in there. Kill the intensity of it. I'm going to try something here. Let's see what I did with it. For my workshop in October, which I mentioned before, with Shelby Keene. Forgotten her name. Anyway, she wanted us to bring some of this. Okay, I normally do not use a medium at all. You can use it no more than 25% by volume. I may put a little bit out here, we'll see. And I was thinking it might help the background blend in a little bit better. Don't know. It should, I guess. And we're not trying to cover up all the pink. Getting a little darker down here, just to change it up. Yeah, if you're new to painting, don't beat yourself up. It is such a difficult thing to learn for most people. I was painting yesterday, like I said, in town, and I chose a challenging scene. It was a row of 3 buildings, and in the city, lots of cars coming and going, and traffic lights, and so it is not done, and I changed things several times, and I'm just thinking, painting's hard. Painting's really hard, at least for most of us. But I love it, and I've always said that I think the challenge of doing it keeps me coming back to it. But I've been painting pretty much full time for, to think about it, 15 years, and sometimes, you feel like you can't paint. And sometimes they're wonderful, and they almost paint themselves, and oh my gosh, that experience is great. But again, don't be too hard on yourself. Painting is so hard. Very, very experienced painters, they have those days. They wipe off, It's starting to get dark. I'm surprised we're not hearing some fireworks. Let me get back into this. Where'd it go? So I'll be painting the edges of this because, again, you wouldn't frame this. I can't imagine you would anyway. So, and I'll have it sitting on the table when I do the show. If you're ever interested in something that I do, just reach out to me. You can leave a comment on here if you want with your email address, and I'll get in touch with you. Eventually, most of the things end up on my website, but not always. And I will put a link to my website in the description box if I didn't already say that, and you can check out my work. You need to go paint a cow now, though. You know you want to. All right. And I have green on this brush. I didn't wipe it off. I'm just gonna put a few little hairs coming off the ears. Still feel like this eye is out a little far. All right, I think we're going to call it. Only one more thing. I could sign it, but I'm probably going to wait and let it dry a little bit. Put a little highlight here on the nose. I think I see that. Kind of under the nose hole there. I'll probably see something when I'm go look at him, you know how it is. Oops, I got green on there, but let's go with that. I was actually thinking some of that background color would be nice mixed into him. I think it can be real nice to pull it back and forth. I'm pretty happy with him. Like I said, there'll probably be something, there she go to looking at him. I got that a little yellow for my taste. You know, you could just pick at him for the longest time. And again, because they're oils, you know, you pull the white into this and you get the mixture of both, and that can be nice. All right, we spent 53 minutes on this. That's not bad. Let me get up and we'll show it to you. First time I've gotten up. Ideally, you want to paint and get away from it more often. You know what I do have and I don't use often enough is a reducing glass. Are you familiar with that? And I did put it in my bag to start carrying it. And let me see if I can find it and I'll show it to you. A reducing glass looks like a magnifying glass. And what it does, all right, where'd I put him? As you look through him, it pulls the image away from you when you look through the glass. So it's similar to, you know, standing up and getting away from it. Oh, got him, believe it or not. I put it down in my bag so I would start using it. This is a reducing glass. Okay, I'll show it to you. It's another tool. And it looks really like a magnifying glass. But the idea of it is, as you look through it, it's like, you know, you're getting away from it a little bit, which can be helpful if you want to sit there and paint and not get up. I think you can kind of tell that looking through it. But that's for reducing glass, so might be something you might be interested in owning. Another painter's tool. All right, so there he is. Again, this is a 8x8 deep canvas, so I'll be painting the edges. There's a full view of him. I like him pretty good. I can see the pink coming through. I've worked and worked on the eyes. I don't know, they still may need a little something. Here's the image. See, the eyes are on the sides of their head. So that's one thing I will look at. I'm not 100% sure I got that just right. But other than that, I like him pretty good. I'm going to do a little more blending here. I can see I put those dark patches in, and I'll be doing that in a moment. All right, thank you for joining me, and please like and subscribe. I keep saying this over and over, but we get to 1,000, then I'll be giving away a painting. So hopefully that'll be very soon. All right, watch for me next time. Thank you. Good night.